Yo, Game Leapers, hope you're all having a great day. Coach Cheese here. Did you guys enjoy the Pro Guides ad? Massive. Now, we have a lot of red hot information to share with you in this video. We're going to go over the 20 best early game champions that will guarantee you win lane in 3 minutes, and don't worry, I will show you a couple of cheeky tips and tricks to help you do just that. Now guys, Season 11 is just around the corner, and I for one cannot wait until it gets underway, so I want to know what you're looking forward to the most. For me, I'm so happy there are no more division promos because they could have been the most annoying thing in League. Let me know what you think down below. Now before we send it, remember to check out GameLeap.com before closing your browser and join thousands of your fellow summoners. We have hundreds of challenger courses and guides guaranteed to help you improve on the Rift. Links as always will be in the description and comments section. Alright, let's get into it. Let me reiterate guys that these 20 champions are all about the first few levels, and kicking us off literally, we have Lee Sin. Now if you guys want to have an immediate impact on the game, Lee Sin is one of the best champions to do it on. You can get your red buff and put pressure on the map straight away. You could gank mid, you could gank bot, you could invade the enemy jungler who might be doing gromp. You have so many ways of stamping your authority in the first few minutes. Now one tip I'm going to give you guys, and I was coaching a diamond Lee Sin yesterday, is to hold your Q. Timing it is crucial, and it's best to wait until that enemy jukes themselves into it, or one of your teammates lands some form of CC that guarantees it to hit. Now go out and smash the early game on Lee Sin guys. He also got some nice buffs in 1025 too, and these will be here in Season 11. Alright guys, coming in next we have SETT, and this bruiser is one of the best early game lane bullies in the top lane. You don't have to rely on mana, which is always a positive, and it's essential to understand that your passive and Q is where your power is stored. The bonus movement speed and damage from knuckle down is what makes you such an alpha. This allows you to gap close to your opponent and beat them down, and you can also combine this with your other abilities, especially your E. I will say this though guys, that in any trade on SETT, if you can start that trade off by just auto attacking and not using any ability, that is huge, because you can save them for when the enemy champion runs away to catch up and reel them back in. Now if you want to win lane and look good while doing it guys, which let's be honest, who doesn't want to do that, SETT is a top pick. Okay, moving on to number 18, we have SYNDRA, and you might be thinking, isn't SYNDRA good when she gets her ultimate at level 6? Well, of course this gives you more kill pressure, but right out of the gate you are one of the most oppressive early game mids on the Rift. Now the main reason for this is your Q. It's on a 4-second cooldown, it has 800 range, and has good base damage. It's an amazing non-stop poke tool. Now one trick you have to know about guys on SYNDRA is that your spheres will travel the same distance when you E them, whether they are just on the edge of it or right at your feet, and this one can really catch players off guard. They don't realize it can travel this far because it's practically underneath you, and bang, you get in more damage, so use this on SYNDRA to get those W's. Coming in at number 17 we have ASHE, and like SYNDRA, most people think ASHE comes online at level 6. Well, I'm here to tell you that ASHE is one of the best lane bullies in the infamous bot lane, and here's how you can start to dominate with her. Your Q is an auto attack reset, meaning that when you auto attack, if you press Q straight after, you can auto attack with your Q almost instantly. Think of this situation guys, you're about to last hit a minion and the enemy Janna all of a sudden walks up to harass you. You can still last hit that minion, but as soon as that auto attack gets thrown out, press Q and you can damage that Janna without her being able to react. This is so important and something that all the best ADCs do, so go out and add this Q trick to your arsenal. You will stomp the first few levels. Now we're going to head back in the jungle here, Game Leapers, and on REK'SAI, our 16th pick. And by the way, if you agree or disagree with any of the champions on this list, please do not hesitate to let us know in the comments. Now after you get both your buffs in level 3, REK'SAI has everything you need to 1v9, and the most effective way of creating a lead and winning ASAP is to use your tunnels behind the enemy lanes. Any champion can gank mid lane, for example, from the 2 river brushes, and anyone can gank top or bot lane through the river brushes also, but as REK'SAI you are one of the few champions in the game that can skip over terrain to get behind your opponents. Take advantage of this in your games guys, I guarantee you will win every early game. Now I know that everyone loves this next champion, and that's YASUO. Now whether every YASUO you have does indeed go 0-10 every game, this doesn't mean he isn't a good early game champion, because he is. Now one way of winning your lane as early as level 2 is to use your E to get nice and close to the enemy champion so you can then auto attack in Q, and E back out through the minion wave. This is why good Yasuos are a pain to play against for anyone, because they extract as much as they can from their kit. If you want to win in Season 11 guys, and Yasuo will be very strong, which is a great help, pick him up. Next up we have Graves, and in terms of level 2 junglers, Graves is the strongest out of the bunch, so if you want to win games before they've even started, here's what you have to do with that shotgun in hand. Take your red buff, E over the dragon or baron wall depending on what side of the map you're on, and sprint at the enemy jungler doing gromp. Now most of the time you will burn their flash or or kill them, and if they're not there, you get a free blue. Now be aggressive from the get-go with grades, guys. It's so important to do so. You will blow your opponents out of the water. Now I think we've all tried our hand at trying to imitate Mad Life on Thresh, and maybe we succeeded or maybe we failed, but the truth is this, guys. Thresh is an amazing early game champion. You can skill your hook and invade level 1, you can flash on the enemy AD carry at level 2 and then flay them into your hook, and if they don't flash they die, and at level 3 you have great setup for your jungler because of your lantern. You can do the exact same combo by flashing in, just make sure to throw out your lantern before engaging and you will pick up guaranteed kills. If you want to smash the bot lane in Season 11, guys, Thresh is one of the premier supports for sure. Here we go at number 12, we have Aurelia, and honestly, if you're good at Aurelia, there's no reason why she couldn't be number 1 on this list. So here's how you can get a kill every single time at level 2 onwards. The key to it is knowing how to use your E. Now you want to cast the first part of your E just behind your opponent. So not where you are or to the side, just behind the base of that character. Now the next part, cast it in front of them and in the direction they are facing. Now you want to do this as quickly as possible, guys, so they have less time to react, and let me tell you, if you can master this little technique, you will get the most level 2 kills possible. So get around Aurelia in Season 11. Here he comes. Now how could we not have a best champions list without Darius on it? Now for anyone who has played against Darius, it's fun getting autoed and then dying 2 seconds later, right? Well, I'm going to tell you that it can get even worse if you know this one trick on him, cancelling your W animation. Now most Darius players know that their W is an auto attack reset, but when you use your W, press Q just as you're about to begin that W animation. Your W will still go through, as will your Q of course, and you attain multiple bleed stacks in a second. Now do this in your games, guys, and there's no reason why you can't win the early game every single time. We're on to the top 10 now, GameLeapers. Let's smash it. Now, starting us off, we have DRAVEN, who has to follow Darius, I guess, and your spinning axe makes you arguably the strongest ADC early on. Now, the core mechanic on DRAVEN is being able to catch your axes, so I'm going to teach you how to do this all the time. So when your spinning axe is about to hit that target, it will rebound to wherever you are facing as it hits. So if you throw out your axe and turn away, your axe will land behind you. If you throw out your axe and run forward, it will land in front of you. Get yourself in a practice tool, pull out some dummies, and master this, guys, so you can crush the enemy bot lane. Okay, coming in at number 9, we have LeBlanc, who has some of the highest kill potential out of all the champions in the first few levels. Now, the key to this is to make use of your Q's mark. So when you Q an enemy champion, it marks them. Now, if you consume this mark, you deal more damage, and you can do this by Wing as soon as you Q. So it almost looks as if you're using 2 abilities at once. Now, being able to do this as clean as possible is vital, and you can also combine this with your flash to surprise your opponent. Again though, make sure you pull this off as quick as you can, because any delay will give your opposite number the time they need to react to it. Now, if you want a champion that has a targeted stun, a bit of fury, and an amazing early game, then RENEKTON is that pick for you. Like SETT, the Croc doesn't need any mana, which is always good, and your damage when you use your abilities in harmony is nuts. And that's the key, guys. Synergizing your abilities so you engage, CC, damage, and then disengage all in one. Now, one of the most effective combos is to use your E to dash in, auto attack and W because your W resets your auto attack animation, auto and Q and dash out. Sounds like a lot, but it's hard to react to, and you shred your opponent's health bar and give them little chance of retaliating because you've already dashed out. Practice this until you can do it with your eyes closed, guys, and you will win every early game on Renek. Now, if you want a champion that sets the early game on fire, it's got to be Rumble, and this dude is crazy early on. Now, the biggest mechanic to master on Rumble that's going to help you win in the first few minutes is keeping your heat at around 50. Now, the reason for this is because you have constant pressure in the lane. You are always sitting on that all-in potential. Your opponents will always be thinking, is this lunatic going to run at me here and kill me, and they will back off as a result and just hand you the lane. So important to manage that temperature, guys. Too cold, you pack no punch. Too hot, you can't punch. Keep it perfectly balanced and you will start to equalize your way to wins. Okay, now if you like celestial beings, guys, you will love our next pick, and that's Aurelion Soul. And quick tip for any of you playing the Star Forger, keep your enemies paranoid. Now, you are the best roaming mid lane in the entire game, but guess what? This doesn't mean you have to roam all the time when you've shoved out your lane. Just the pressure of you missing is enough to create mini leads in your side lanes, and when those mere pings go down, the enemy laners will be that scared of you killing them, they will be under tower and there's no point in ganking them anyway. So yeah, this is the paranoia you create on the Soul, guys, so abuse this in the Mandate Rylai's build for ultimate success in Season 11. We're now into the top 5, and let me just thank all of you for watching thus far. It's about to get even more exciting, and another reminder to check out our amazing website GameLeap.com at the end of this video. The best high elo analysis and tips on micro, macro, mental, skill, everything that you need to be a challenger player, we have it, so click on the links down below. Alright, so at number 5 guys, we have SHEN, and most people think SHEN is good when he gets Barmy, SYNDRA, and then Sunfire. Well, SHEN is actually one of the best top laners before these spikes, especially when you have all of your basic abilities. Now, one tip and combo that you have to get down pat if you're to stomp lane on SHEN is timing your Q with your E. Simply Q while you're dashing, and not only will your auto attacks be enhanced, the enemy champion will be slowed as well. This isn't just great for your 1v1, but also for when your jungler ganks. So if you want a top laner to hard win the first few levels guys, SHEN is ideal. Now coming in at number 4 GameLeap is we have PANTHEON, and the changes in 10.25 have made Panth great again in that top and mid lane. Your Comet Spear now costs less mana, and if you release it as soon as you cast it, so if you just tap Q, 60% of its cooldown is refunded. Now why do you think this would be useful in the early game? Because you can spam it, that's it. And in a solo lane this hurts like heck, and we ain't talking the champ. Now a quick trick with your Q is that you can Q flash. This is best used when you need to snipe the enemy champion on 1 HP, so it gives them less time to react, and you can always use the flash to reposition yourself to line up that spear. Now get around the spear and shield guys in season 11, he is going to be so good. Alright, the top 3, and at number 3 we have the most aggressive, oppressive early game ADC out of the bunch, Lucian. Now whether you play Lucian as a mid or ADC or even top laner, your passive makes you the best lane bully. So after using an ability you fire an extra auto attack, as I'm sure you all know, but this becomes incredibly hard to deal with when you use your E and Q in particular in swift succession. Now remember what I said about LeBlanc, you want to be as quick as you can when you QW, same thing with Lucian. When you E forward an auto attack, don't just stand there, press Q as those auto attacks are traveling. Your DPS goes through the roof and you will put your opponents in the dirt. The silver medalist guys for early game juggernauts is Leona, and she is easily the scariest support in the first few levels. Now one of the driving forces behind this is the fact your stun from your Q is on a 5-second cooldown. Now keeping this in mind, one way to give you and your ADC the best chance of taking down the enemy bot lane is to flash Q and then E as the stun is about to end. Your Zenith Blade roots them for another half a second, and this gives your partner in crime enough time to dish out enough damage to at least burn summoners, and you have a great chance of kills. Now if you're going to play any support in season 11 guys, make sure it's Leona. Now before I reveal the number 1 early game champion, I'm going to give you some clues. So here we go. Now my passive gives me bonus armor and health regeneration, making me one of the strongest duelers even at level 1. If I stand still in lane, my opponents think I'm engaging on them. I love Riot so much because they gave me 2 uses of my ultimate, and the last clue, I am a king. So the best early game champion right now guys, and well done if you got it, is Wukong. Now with Conqueror thrown in the mix as well, you are a beast in the first few minutes, and there is no one who can come close to your power. So pick the Kong for free wins in season 11. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and remember to subscribe and turn on all notifications. This has been Coach Eags. Until tomorrow's video, peace.